Stop. Stop reacting. You are too easy to provoke. A single word, a simple insult, a look from a stranger, and your peace is stolen. You are a puppet, and your emotions are the strings. They pull, and you dance every single time. This ends now. This is not about managing your reactions. This is about ending them. This is not about building tolerance. It is about building a fortress. You will learn to observe the chaos, but not participate in it. You will learn to become the person who cannot be moved. This is the indifferent mind, and this is how you become impossible to provoke. Chapter 1. You are addicted to reacting. Let us begin with the truth, a truth you will not want to hear. You are an addict. You are addicted to reacting. You are a slave to the smallest, most insignificant external events. A car cuts you off in traffic. A stranger on the internet leaves a comment you don't like. A colleague makes a passive-aggressive remark in a meeting. In 1 second, 1 single second, your heart rate climbs. The blood rushes to your face. Your jaw tightens. Your entire physiological and emotional state is hijacked. You are not in control. You think you are. You tell yourself you are. You justify this reaction as righteous anger. You call it defending yourself. You label it being passionate or having standards. You are lying to yourself. What you are experiencing is not control. It is not strength. It is the raw, unthinking twitch of a nerve. It is a compulsion. It is an addiction. And like every addiction, it controls you while pretending to serve you. Think about it. The man who cuts you off in traffic. You lean on the horn. You shout in your car. You feel a rush. A surge of adrenaline, of cortisol. You feel powerful, justified, and right. That feeling? That is your fix. You are not angry because he cut you off. You are using the event as an excuse to get your hit. The event is just the trigger for the chemical cocktail your body craves. The drama is the drug. You are not in control. Your addiction is. You react, you lose. This addiction is more insidious than any substance. Why? Because you don't even see it as an addiction. The smoker knows the cigarette is killing him. The alcoholic knows the bottle is his poison. But you believe your reactions are you. You've built an identity around your reactivity. I'm just a person who speaks my mind. I don't suffer fools. I'm not a doormat. Let's call this what it is. It is a profound, deep-seated weakness. It is an illusion of control that masks a total lack of it. The online argument. You see a comment. It is foolish. It is wrong. You know you are right. So you engage. You type out a long, well-reasoned response. You dismantle their logic. They reply with more ignorance. You reply again, this time with more force. An hour passes. 2 hours. You finally get the last word. They block you, or they stop replying. You sit back, heart-pounding, feeling what? Vindicated? You won. No, you lost. You lost 2 hours of your life. You lost your peace of mind. You lost your emotional center. You exchanged your irreplaceable time and your finite energy for a single hit of self-righteousness. You traded your inner peace for a moment of feeling right in front of a stranger you will never meet. You did not win. You fed your addiction. You react, you lose. Every single time. This is the key. You must understand this. It is not about managing your anger. It's not about counting to 10. That is a temporary fix for a permanent problem. This is about seeing the addiction for what it is. It is a parasite. It feeds on your energy. It feeds on your focus. It forces you to look outward, at the insult, at the driver, at the comment, instead of inward, at your own discipline. The world is full of provocateurs. Manipulators, trolls, and unconscious reactive people are everywhere. They are looking for a fix just like you. They throw out bait, hoping an addict will bite. When you react, you bite. You let them hook you. You give them your power. You give them your energy. That's the key. Your energy is yours. It is the only thing you truly own. And you give it away for free every day to people and events that do not matter. It's not about changing the world. It's about changing your mind. It's not about stopping the insults. It's about stopping your response. You have a choice. This is the first fundamental truth of the indifferent mind. You have a choice. Right now, you do not believe it. You feel the provocation and the reaction feels automatic. It feels instantaneous. This is the illusion created by a lifetime of practice. You have practiced being reactive for decades. You are a grand master of losing your control. You have built a superhighway in your brain that leads directly from stimulus to anger. Our entire work in this audiobook is to build a new road. The first step is awareness. You cannot defeat an enemy you do not see. So for the next 24 hours, this is your only task. You are not to change your reaction. You are not to stop it. You are only to observe it. You will become a scientist of your own addiction. When your partner says something that annoys you, feel the flush of anger rise in your chest and just watch it. Name it. Ah, there it is, the addiction. When you read an email from your boss that feels unfair, notice the immediate tension in your shoulders. Notice your desire to type a defensive reply, and watch it. I see you. That is the reaction. Do not judge it. Do not fight it. Just see it. This act of pure observation is the first tool of your freedom. It creates a space, a tiny hairline crack between the event and your response. Right now, that space is 0. We are going to make it 1 second, then 5, then a minute. Until that space is so wide, you can stand in it, observe the provocation on the far side, and choose not to cross. You are not your reactions. You are the observer of your reactions. This is the foundation. You must accept the diagnosis. You are an addict. Your reactions are not you, they are a habit, and any habit can be broken. You are not in control. Your addiction is, but that is about to change. You have taken the first step. You have seen the cage. You have identified the addiction. But why is this addiction so powerful? Why do we care so much what other people think, say, or do? We are addicted to reacting because we are addicted to something deeper, something more fundamental. We are addicted to validation. Now that you see the symptom, the reaction, we must go to the disease. We must find the root of this weakness, and we must kill it. That is the next step. Chapter 2, Kill the Need for Validation. Chapter 2, Kill the Need for Validation. In the last chapter, we identified the symptom, the addiction, that raw, visible twitch of a reaction when you are provoked. Now we hunt the disease. You do not react because you are passionate. You do not react because you are right. You react because you are desperate. You are desperate for external validation. This is the root of your weakness. This is the on switch for your reactivity. This is the central reason you are so easy to provoke. You have made other people the judge, jury, and executioner of your own self-worth. You have handed the keys to your internal peace to strangers on the internet, to your boss, to your family, to your partner. You have given them the power to decide if you are good enough, smart enough, successful enough. And then you have the audacity to be surprised when they use that power against you. You are not a victim. You are a volunteer. Their validation is a cage. You built it. You walked into it, and you are begging them to lock the door. Stop asking for permission to be worthy. Let's look at the mechanism. The modern-day validation machine. Social media. You post a picture, a thought, an achievement. Then, you wait. You put your phone down. 5 seconds later, you pick it up. Nothing. You put it down again. A minute later, you check it. You refresh the feed. 1 like. A small hit. A tiny spark of pleasure. Someone saw me. Someone agrees. But it's not enough. It's never enough. You check again, and again, and again, for hours. You are hooked, waiting for the digital applause to tell you that you are okay. That's the key. You are not free. You are waiting for permission from the world to feel good about yourself. And what happens when the validation doesn't come? What happens when you get 1 like, or no likes, or worse, a negative comment? Your addiction is not fed. The chemical hit is denied. You don't just feel disappointment. You feel erased. You feel humiliated. And if that comment is an insult, you explode. You react. You defend. You justify. Why? Because they didn't just insult your picture, they attacked your source of worth. You are not defending your post. You are defending your addiction. This neediness is a weakness. It is a bright, flashing sign above your head that says, I am fragile. I am controllable. My emotions are for sale. Manipulators can see this from a mile away. Let's move this from the digital world to the real world. Your job. You work late. You pour everything you have into a project. You hand it to your boss, and you wait. You wait for the good job, the excellent work, the public praise in the team meeting. When it comes, you feel a surge of relief, of pride. You feel seen. But when it doesn't come, when your boss just nods and says, okay, next item, your entire day is ruined. Your motivation collapses. You silently seethe. After all that work, they don't even care. You were not upset about the work. You were upset because your fix was denied. It's not about the quality of the project. It's about your craving for praise. You have made your boss the dealer of your self-esteem. You don't need their permission. You don't need anyone's permission. This is the transformation. This is the work you must do. You must kill this need. Not manage it, not reduce it, kill it. How? You start by moving the courtroom. Right now, the courtroom for your self-worth is outside of you. You are on trial, and the whole world is the jury. You must fire them all. You must become the only judge. This is the discipline of the internal standard. From now on, you do not post on social media and wait. You post and you walk away. The post is a declaration, not a request. You are sharing a moment, not asking if the moment is worthy. If people like it, that is their business. It has nothing to do with you. You have a choice. You can be a beggar for likes, or you can be an observer of data. Choose to be the observer. At your job, you must stop working for the praise and start working for the work. The reward for the project is the completion of the project. The reward is the focus you brought to it. The reward is the skill you honed. You are the judge. When you finish, you look at the work and you say, "This is good. I met my standard." That is the end of the transaction. If your boss adds praise, it is irrelevant. It is noise. It is like a bird chirping outside. Pleasant, maybe, but it does not change the value of your work. Their validation is a cage. Stop asking for permission to be worthy. This will be hard. Your addiction will scream at you. It will tell you that you are arrogant. It will tell you that you need others. It will create a deep, hollow feeling of emptiness where the validation used to be. You must sit in that emptiness. You must endure it. That emptiness is the sound of your freedom being born. It is the sound of the cage bars rusting and breaking. It's not about being cold, it's about being free. It's not about ignoring feedback. It's about not being dependent on it. This is the only way. You must become your own source of approval. Your validation must come from you, from your actions, from your discipline, from your standards. When you no longer need the world to tell you that you are good, the world loses all power to provoke you. Their insults become noise, their praise becomes noise. You are no longer a puppet waiting for a string to be pulled. You are the one in control. You have seen the addiction, now you have the cure. You must kill the need for validation. When you do this, you achieve something profound. You disconnect your emotions from the words and actions of others. But this leads to the next battle. You have stopped caring what they say. Now you must stop engaging with what they say. You have taken away their power, but they will still try to take your time. They will still try to drain your energy. You have learned why you react. Now you must learn why you must never engage with a provocateur ever. Chapter 3. They win when you engage. Chapter 3. They win when you engage. In the last chapter, we dug to the root. We found the disease, your desperate, consuming need for validation. You have begun the work. You have started the process of killing that need. You are learning to be your own judge. You are taking back the power. But now, you face a new, more subtle trap. You may no longer need their approval, but you are still addicted to the fight. You have a deep, programmed compulsion to correct, to explain, to defend, and to attack. You know the troll is an idiot. You know the comment is worthless. You know you don't need their permission to be worthy. And yet, you still reply. You have to prove them wrong. You have to get the last word. You have to show them the truth. This is the final illusion of your ego, and it is the central weapon of the provocateur. Listen to me. This is the most important tactical lesson you will learn. The battle is lost the moment you engage. Not at the end of the argument, not when you fail to convince them. It is lost the second your fingers touch the keyboard. It is lost the moment you open your mouth to just explain. They win when you engage. Why? You must understand your enemy. The provocateur, the troll, the manipulator, the energy vampire, is not seeking truth. They are not interested in a healthy debate. They are empty, and they are hungry. They are seeking one thing and one thing only: your energy, your time, your focus, your emotional output. Engagement is their fuel. Your reaction is their food. When you give them nothing, when you give them silence, when you scroll past, when you ignore them, they starve. When you engage, you are feeding a stray dog and guaranteeing it will be back at your door tomorrow. Engagement is fuel. Starve them. Your energy is not for them. Let's look at the classic example, the online troll. You post something you're proud of, a piece of work, an idea. The comment appears, "This is the stupidest thing I have ever read. You're an idiot." The old you, the one addicted to validation, would feel hurt. The new you just observes. But the habit of engagement is still there. The ego flares. "I'm not an idiot. I'll show him." So you type. Actually, if you had bothered to read the article, you would see that the data supports my conclusion. Stop. Right there. You have lost. You think you are educating them. You think you are defending your position. What you are actually doing is saying, "Hello, Mr. Troll. Your opinion is so important to me that I will stop what I am doing, stop my work, stop my life, to dedicate my precious, finite energy to you." You have validated their attack. You have signaled that their bait worked. You have handed them control. They have won. It doesn't matter if your reply is brilliant. It doesn't matter if you own them with facts and logic. You replied. You took your time, which is your life, and you gave it to a worthless provocation. You have a choice. You can be right, or you can be effective. You cannot be both. The troll doesn't care about your facts. They care that they made you dance. That's the key. Your energy is not for them. This applies everywhere in your life. It is not just online. It's the coworker who baits you with a passive-aggressive comment. "Must be nice to have such a flexible schedule. Some of us have to do the real work." The hook is out. They are fishing. They want you to bite. They want you to get defensive. The weak mind bites. "What do you mean by that? I was on client calls all morning. I worked just as hard as you." And lost. You are now standing in the middle of the office, justifying your existence to a bitter, unhappy person who is simply trying to steal your peace. You have given them your power. It's not about being a doormat. It's about discipline. It's not about passivity. It's about strategy. The indifferent mind understands that engagement comes in 3 forms. All of them are traps. Trap 1, the defense. "I am not what you say I am." This is a plea for their approval. It is a signal that you still value their opinion. You have failed. Trap 2, the explanation. "Here is why you are wrong." This is a plea for their understanding. You're treating an illogical attack as a logical debate. You are playing chess with a pigeon that will just knock over the pieces. You have failed.
Trap 3. The attack. You're the idiot. You're the one who is lazy. This is the greatest loss of all. You have not only engaged, you have become them. You have let them drag you down to their level. You have given them the exact chemical, emotional drama they were craving. You have failed, and you have become a mirror of their own dysfunction. Defend, explain, attack. All are failure. All are a waste of your energy. The only winning move is non-engagement. The only position of power is the void. The coworker baits you. Must be nice. The indifferent mind's response? A simple, brief look. No anger, no defense, just an observation. And then you turn back to your work. You give them nothing. You do not justify. You do not explain. You do not attack. You give them silence. You have just communicated in the most powerful way possible. You are irrelevant. Your bait is weak. Your attempt to steal my energy has failed. I have work to do. This is power. This is active discipline. You are denying them the fuel they need to live. Engagement is fuel. Starve them. This is your new mandate. Your energy is your most valuable asset. It is the currency of your life. You will view it as a fortress. Are you going to lower the drawbridge for every peasant with a torch who bangs on the gate? Are you going to empty your treasury for every beggar who insults you? Or are you going to guard your energy? Are you going to invest it? Invest it in your work. Invest it in your body. Invest it in your mission. Do not give it to trolls. Do not give it to manipulators. Do not give it to the provocations of a chaotic world. You know you're addicted to reacting. You know you must kill the need for validation. Now you know that engagement is the act of failure. You have stopped caring. You have stopped engaging. You have learned to starve the enemy. But that is not enough. You cannot just be on defense. You cannot just resist the world. You must build an internal world that is so strong, so solid, that the outside world becomes nothing. It's time to stop worrying about their words. It's time to start building your mind. It's time to build the fortress. Chapter 4. The fortress is your mind, not your words.
Chapter 4. The fortress is your mind, not your words. In the last chapter, we set the rule of engagement. You do not engage. You do not feed the troll. You do not justify yourself to the manipulator. You starve them of your energy. But I know what you are thinking. If I don't defend myself, won't I look weak? Won't they win? This question, this fear, is the symptom of a lifetime of wrong thinking. You have been taught that a strong defense is a sharp tongue, a clever comeback, a perfectly timed, logical takedown. You believe that the person who wins the argument is the person who speaks last. This is a lie. It is the single greatest lie that keeps you trapped in the cycle of reactivity. Your words are not a fortress. Your words are a reaction. Your clever comeback is not a shield. It is a confession. It is a confession that their arrow hit you. It is a confession that they mattered enough to provoke you. The strongest defense is not verbal. It is not external. The strongest defense is structural. It is internal. The true fortress is a mind that simply refuses to be disturbed. Do not defend. Do not explain. Build the fortress. Let's look at this. The world sends an attack, an insult, a provocation. The attack flies toward you. The weak mind, the untrained mind, sees the arrow coming and scrambles. It panics. It searches its small armory for a word to throw back. It tries to parry the arrow. It's a fight.
It's chaos. It's effort. And even if you block their arrow, you are still on the battlefield. You are still reacting to their attack. You are still playing their game on their terms. The indifferent mind is different. The indifferent mind is not a soldier scrambling on the battlefield. The indifferent mind is the fortress. When the arrow is fired, it does nothing. It stands. The arrow hits the solid stone wall and falls useless to the ground. The fortress does not flinch. It does not rearrange its stones. It does not shout back at the archer. It just is. It is an unbothered, immovable structure. That's the key. It is not about winning the fight. It is about making the fight irrelevant. It's not about being quick with a reply. It's about being so solid that no reply is necessary. Let's take the real-world example. You're in a meeting. You present an idea. A colleague, one who has always tried to undermine you, scoffs, loudly enough for everyone to hear. They say, "That's the same tired idea you pitched last quarter. Are you even trying?" The room goes silent. Everyone looks at you. The attack is public. It is designed to humiliate you, to provoke you. The weak mind panics. The heart pounds. The face flushes. The weak mind scrambles, thinking, "I have to defend myself. I have to look strong." So it lashes out. "That's not true. You're the one who hasn't had a new idea in 5 years." Or it gets defensive. I've actually updated the data if you would just let me finish.
In both cases, you have lost. You have let this person hijack your presentation. You have let them set your emotional temperature. You have confessed to the entire room that this one person's opinion has the power to shatter your peace. Now, the indifferent mind, the fortress. The comment is made, "Are you even trying?" The room goes silent. Everyone looks at you. What do? You do nothing. You build the fortress. You hold their gaze for 1, 2 seconds. You do not show anger. You do not show fear. You do not show anything. You observe their attack. You register it as noise. You see it for what it is, the desperate, flailing weakness of an insecure person. You observe it, and you let it fall. It does not land on you. It does not get inside. After 2 seconds of pure, unbroken, calm eye contact, you turn your head away from them, back to the rest of the room, and you continue your presentation as if they had never spoken. Now, if you'll look at the Q3 projections on the next slide, this is power. The silence, the stillness, the absolute refusal to be moved. You have just shown the entire room, and more importantly, you have shown yourself that their attack has 0 impact. It was irrelevant. You are unbothered. That is the fortress. Do not defend. Do not explain. Build the fortress. How do you build it? You don't build a fortress in a day. You build it brick by brick. The first brick is your internal standard. You must know your own worth. We talked about this. You are the judge. If you know your idea is good, if you know you are trying, what does their opinion matter? It is nothing. You don't need their permission to be worthy. The second brick is detached observation. You must practice seeing attacks as data, not as truth. When the insult comes, your new internal monologue is not, "How dare they?" Your new internal monologue is, observation. This person is trying to provoke me. Observation. They are feeling insecure. Observation. This is noise. This detaches you. It moves you from participant to observer. The third brick is your mission.
Your fortress is built on the foundation of your purpose. You are in that meeting to do your job. You are on this planet to build your life. When your why is big enough, their what becomes small. Your mission is so important. Their insult is a distraction, a buzzing fly. You do not stop building your cathedral to argue with a fly. You just keep working. This is the work. It is not easy. It takes discipline. It's not about being a cold, unfeeling robot. It's about being a disciplined, focused master of your own mind. It's about choosing where your energy goes. You have a choice. You can spend your life on the battlefield, scrambling, reacting, throwing words back and forth, exhausted, angry, and controlled. Or you can stop. You can stop defending. You can stop explaining. And you can start to build. Build the walls so high and so thick that the noise of the world cannot get in. You have built the fortress. You have the structure. The walls are up. But what happens when the enemy is right at the gate? What happens in that split second between the attack and your habitual reaction? The fortress is the strategy. Now you need the tactic. You need the tool that stands guard at the gate, the mechanism that gives you the time to let the fortress work. This is the tool that breaks their control in real time. Chapter 5. Master the pause, the tool that breaks their control.
Chapter 5. Master the pause, the tool that breaks their control. In the last chapter, we designed the fortress. We laid the foundation. We built the walls. The fortress is your mind. It is the structure of your new, unbothered self. But a fortress, no matter how strong, is useless without a guard at the gate. A fortress is a strategy. Now you need the tactic. You need the weapon that you will use in the split second of the attack. Because right now, the attack feels instant. The provocation happens and the reaction explodes out of you. Stimulus and immediate response. It's a superhighway. It's a habit you have practiced for 10, 20, 40 years. It feels automatic. It feels uncontrollable. This is a lie. It is the lie the provocateur depends on. It is the lie your addiction tells you. Between the stimulus, the insult, the accusation, the passive-aggressive comment, and your response, the anger, the defensiveness, the adrenaline, there is a space. It may only be a microsecond, a tiny hairline fracture in time, but that space is everything. That space is your point of power. That space is your freedom. We will call it the pause. Your entire journey to becoming an indifferent mind hinges on your ability to find and own that space. This is the tool that breaks their control. Find the gap. Own the pause. This is where you take your power back. So what is this pause? It is the moment of choice. It is the difference between being a reactor and being a responder. A reactor is a puppet, a slave. The string is pulled and they dance. A responder is a master. They observe the pull and they choose to move or to stand still. You have a choice. You always have a choice. The pause is where you find it. Right now, you are unconscious in that gap. The provocation happens and you black out. You wake up after you've already shouted, after you've already sent the angry email, after you've already lost. We are going to drill this. We are going to make you conscious. We are going to take that microsecond and we are going to widen it. We will stretch it into 1 full second, then 3, then 10, until that gap is so wide that you can live in it.
until you can stand in that space, look at the provocation, and calmly decide what to do next. This is the work. It's not about magic. It's about discipline. It's not about passivity. It's about active internal control. Here is the drill. This is your new programming. You will burn this into your mind. The moment of attack comes. Someone in a meeting accuses you of something you did not do. You never sent me that report. You dropped the ball. Step 1. The stimulus hits. You feel it, the heat in your chest, the immediate driving compulsion to say, I did, I sent it last night, check your email. You want to defend. You want to be right. Step 2. Invoke the pause. This is an active command. You order your mind, pause. You bite your tongue. You clamp your jaw. You do not speak. This is the hardest part. This is the battle. You must win this first second. Step 3. What to do inside the pause. This is not an empty space. This is an active space. You will do 2 things.
First, you breathe. 1 full, deliberate, silent breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. This is not a sigh. It is not a dramatic huff. It is a secret, physiological weapon. This one breath breaks the hijack. It stops the amygdala. It breaks the adrenaline, cortisol, anger cycle. It forces your body to be still. Second, you observe. In that 2 or 3 seconds of breath, you look at the person who accused you. But you do not see them as an attacker. You observe them as a scientist. You see their red face. You hear the tension in their voice. Your internal monologue is not, how dare you? Your new internal monologue is, observation, this person is upset. Observation, they are trying to blame me. Observation, they are uncontrolled. You have detached. Step 4. Choose your response. After the breath, after the observation, the pause has given you control. Now you choose. The old you had one option, react. The new you has infinite options. You could choose silence, a simple, calm, unbothered stare. You could choose a question, not a defensive one, a cold one. Which report are you referring to? Are you certain you checked your spam filter? You are not defending, you are gathering data. You could choose a statement. I sent it. I will forward it to you again after this meeting. Flat. No emotion, no anger, no justification. It is a fact. The outcome of the conversation is irrelevant. The victory already happened. The victory was the pause. The victory was the moment you broke the habit and took control. Find the gap. Own the pause. This is where you take your power back. This is your only training. You will practice this on everything. The driver who cuts you off? Pause. Breathe. Observe your own adrenaline. Choose not to honk. The relative who makes a passive-aggressive remark at dinner? Pause. Breathe. Observe their insecurity. Choose to pass the salt. The email that lands in your inbox designed to make you panic? Pause. Breathe. Observe the urgency. Choose to wait 1 hour before replying. This will not be easy. You will fail. You will react. You will get angry. You will send the email. And 2 minutes later, you will remember, I missed the pause. Good. That awareness is the first sign of victory. You did not catch it before. You caught it after. That is progress. The next time, you will catch yourself during the reaction. You will be mid-sentence in your defensive tirade, and you will stop. This is better. And the time after that, you will feel the stimulus. You will feel the impulse, and you will find the gap. You will force the pause. You will breathe. You will observe. And you will stand in that moment of pure, absolute power, and you will choose. This is the tool. You have the fortress. This is the guard. You have mastered the tactic of control. But now we must go deeper. You have the tool to stop the reaction. But what if the attack itself was powerless? What if the insult was nothing? The pause is your shield, but what if the arrow itself could be disintegrated before it even hit the shield? You must reframe the attack. You must learn to hear insults, criticism, and negativity as nothing more than meaningless noise. Chapter 6. Insults are just noise. The Indifference Framework.
Chapter 6. Insults are just noise. The Indifference Framework. In the last chapter, you mastered the tactic. You learned to create the gap. You found the pause. The pause is your shield. It is the active, disciplined defense that stands at the gate of your fortress. It stops the attack from getting in, giving you the space to choose. This is critical. This is the tool of control. But now we go deeper. Now we learn the philosophy that makes the shield almost unnecessary. What if the attack was never an attack at all? What if the arrow you are so desperately trying to block is just a gust of wind? This is the Indifference Framework, and it is the software that will run your new, unbothered mind. This is where you learn that all external negativity, all of it, is simply noise. Think about this. A dog barks down the street. It is loud. It is annoying. Do you take it personally? Do you stop what you are doing, clutch your chest, and think, "What did that dog mean by that? Is he right? Am I a bad person?" Of course you don't. That is insane. You recognize the sound, you classify it. That is a dog barking. It is noise. You acknowledge it, and you let it pass. It has no meaning for you. A car alarm goes off in the parking lot, a piercing, repetitive, urgent sound. You don't get angry at the car alarm. You don't feel insulted by it. You don't write a letter to the car defending your character. You recognize it. That is a car alarm. It is noise. It might be a nuisance, but it has no power over your emotional state. Now, a stranger on the internet, a person you do not know, will never meet, and whose life is a total mystery, types a string of words. "You are a failure. This is stupid." And your entire world explodes. Your heart pounds. Your hands shake. Your identity feels attacked. You have ignored the barking dog. You have dismissed the car alarm. But you have taken the random sound from a stranger, and you have made it the truth. Why? Why is one sound noise and the other sound a dagger? Because you let it be. You have chosen to give their noise a meaning it does not have. You have chosen to personalize a random vibration in the air. That's the key. An insult is a car alarm for human insecurity. Gossip is the barking of a weak mind. Passive aggression is the static of an unhappy person. It is all just noise, and you must stop giving it power. It is only noise. Let it pass through you. It is not you. This is the framework. This is the transformation you must make. It is a discipline of reclassification. You must stop analyzing the content of the noise and simply recognize the category of the noise.
Let's apply it. The colleague in the meeting, they make their passive-aggressive comment. "Must be nice to finally join us." The old you personalizes. The old you searches for meaning. What do they mean? Do they think I'm lazy? Do other people think I'm lazy? I must defend myself. I must explain. This is the trap. You are analyzing the barking dog. The new you, the indifferent mind, applies the framework. You hear the words. You invoke the pause. And your internal monologue is not, "How dare they?" Your internal monologue is, "Observation. I am hearing noise." That is all. You classify it. This is static. This is the car alarm. You do not personalize it. You do not search for meaning. You do not debate the car alarm. You just recognize it. And because it is only noise, it requires no response. It requires no emotional energy. It passes through you like the wind. This is true power. It's not about suppressing your anger. It's about an absence of anger. It's not about tolerating the insult. It's about realizing there is no insult. There is only sound. It's not about being weak. It's about discipline. The discipline to refuse to participate in their drama. The discipline to refuse to translate their insecurity into your problem. You have a choice. You can spend your life decoding the static of every unhappy, unfulfilled, and reactive person you meet. Or you can decide that your mind is a clear channel. You are only open for signals that matter. Everything else is noise. This is your new behavioral instruction. For the next week, your only job is to reclassify. You are the librarian of your own mind. When a piece of data comes in, a comment, an email, a look, you have one job: sort it. Is this useful data? For example, the report is late. You have a flat tire. Or is this noise? You're an idiot. I can't believe you wore that. You'll never succeed. If it is data, you act on it. If it is noise, you classify it and you let it go. You don't need their permission to ignore their static. You don't need their approval to keep your mind clean. Your ego will fight you on this. It will scream, "But what if the criticism is true? What if I am a failure?" This is the ego's trick to keep you hooked on validation. Let's be very clear. Do not confuse data with drama. Do not confuse constructive feedback with an attack. Constructive feedback is data. It is specific. It is passionless. It is offered by someone who has earned the right to give it, and it is designed to build you up. An insult is noise. It is vague. It is emotional. It is offered by anyone, and it is designed to tear you down. The indifferent mind welcomes data. The indifferent mind dismisses noise. You must know the difference. Your peace of mind depends on your ability to sort. Stop treating all sounds as equally important. The opinion of a mentor is data. The opinion of a troll is noise. It is only noise. Let it pass through you. It is not you. Their words have no power unless you give it to them. They're just vibrations in the air. You are the one who chooses to interpret those vibrations as a weapon against yourself. Stop flipping them. Stop building the prison for yourself. You have the fortress. You have the pause. You have the framework. You can see the attack as noise. But there is one kind of attacker who is more dangerous than the rest. One who doesn't use insults, one who uses guilt, shame, love. This is the manipulator. This is the person who knows your triggers, and their noise sounds sweet. You cannot just ignore them. You must actively, strategically defeat them. You must learn how to use your new indifferent mind as a weapon. You must learn how to starve them. Chapter 7. Starve the manipulator. Silence as a weapon.
Chapter 7. Starve the manipulator. Silence as a weapon. In the last chapter, you learned to reclassify attacks. You learned that the insults of a stranger, the rage of a troll, the negativity of a crowd is noise. It is a barking dog, a car alarm. You observe it, and you let it pass. You have the framework for the obvious enemy. But now, we must talk about the insidious enemy. The one who does not attack you. The one who ensnares you. The one who does not use insults, but uses love. The one who does not use anger, but uses guilt. This is the emotional manipulator. This is the family member, the partner, the friend who knows your triggers because they helped install them. Their words are not noise. Their words are venom, coated in honey. They do not want your energy. They want your compliance. They do not want a reaction. They want a specific reaction. They need you to feel guilty. They need you to feel confused. They need you to doubt your own mind. This is gaslighting. This is guilt-tripping. This is playing the victim. And they are masters of it. Their entire game depends on your response. They feed on your justification. They thrive on your defense. They grow stronger when you argue. Your old weapons will not work here. You cannot just ignore them. You must actively, strategically defeat them. And your greatest weapon is silence. Silence is not passive. It is an active weapon. Use it. Let's look at the battlefield. The manipulator's favorite tool is the guilt hook. It is the most effective weapon ever designed. The classic example: a family member. After everything I have done for you, after all the sacrifices I've made, you can't do this one small thing for me? The hook is in. The venom is injected. You feel the guilt. It is a hot, sick feeling in your stomach. Your programming, your addiction to their validation, Chapter 2, screams at you to fix it. The weak mind, the untrained mind, justifies, argues, defends, explains. This is the trap. We call it jade. I know, and I'm so grateful, I really am, but you see, this one time I had this other commitment and it's really important. I'm so sorry. Maybe next week? You have lost. You have lost in every conceivable way. Why? Because by justifying, you agreed with their premise. You confirmed that their guilt worked. You validated their power over you. You have admitted that you were guilty and are begging for their forgiveness. You have just trained them to use that exact weapon on you again, and they will.
Now, the indifferent mind. The same scenario, the same hook. After everything I've done for you, you can't do this one small thing? You invoke the pause, Chapter 5. You feel the guilt wash over you, but you observe it. You name it. This is a manipulation. This is a tactic. You breathe. You separate the request from the venom. The request is, can you do this thing? The venom is, you are a bad person if you say no. The indifferent mind ignores the venom and only answers the request. Your response is one word: no. Not no, I'm sorry, not no, because, not I can't, just no. It is calm, it is flat, it is cold. This is where the real battle begins. The manipulator cannot survive in a vacuum. They need your justification to breathe. When you give them a simple cold no, they will panic. They will escalate. No, just no. Is that all you have to say to me? They are demanding you jade. They are begging you to feed them. And what do you give them? Silence. You do not explain your no. You do not defend your no. Your no is a complete sentence. Your no is a fortress. Chapter 4. Your silence is the wall they are breaking their hands on. Silence is not passive. It is an active weapon. Use it. It is an active denial of fuel. You are communicating with your silence. Your silence says, your guilt does not work here. Your tactic is powerless. I will not participate in this drama. Let's try gaslighting. That's not what happened. You're misremembering. You're being too sensitive. The weak mind argues, yes, it did. I am not too sensitive. You said it. Why are you lying? Lost. You are now arguing about reality itself. You have given them the power to be the judge of your sanity. The indifferent mind refuses. The response is, that is not my experience. Or, I know what I saw. Or, my personal favorite, nothing. Just a calm, steady, observing stare. You do not argue with the person about your reality. You don't need their permission to know what you know. When you refuse to engage with their false reality, it collapses. You are a black hole for their manipulation. This is the discipline. It's not about being mean. It's about being free. It's not about being cold. It's about being sane. You must be willing to endure the discomfort. Your addiction to pleasing them will scream at you. You will feel like a bad person. You must let it scream. You must let it feel bad. You must choose your freedom over their control. You have a choice. Continue to jade for the rest of your life, or use the weapon. Starve them. Starve them of your guilt. Starve them of your confusion. Starve them of your justifications. Give them nothing but the cold, hard, silent wall of your indifference. This is the hardest work. This is harder than ignoring a troll. This is an internal war. Because the reason this is so hard, the reason you want to justify, the reason you fear their disapproval, is because the manipulator has a partner, an accomplice, an inside man. The inside man is your own mind. It is the part of you that craves their approval, the part of you that fears being seen as bad, the part of you that needs to be right. It is your ego, and it is your true jailer. We must now turn from the external enemy to the internal one. We must identify and dismantle the jailer inside you. Chapter 8. Your ego is your jailer.
Chapter 8. Your ego is your jailer. In the last chapter, we confronted the manipulator. We learned to starve them, to use silence as an active weapon. We learned to deny them the guilt, the justification, and the confusion they feed on. But we must ask a fundamental question. Why does their guilt work? Why do you feel that sick, hot need to justify yourself? Why does the manipulator have an accomplice? Because they do. There is an inside man, a traitor, living inside your own mind. A jailer that wants you to be controlled because it is terrified of being hurt. This internal enemy is your ego. Let's be absolutely clear. The part of you that feels offended is not you. The part of you that feels disrespected is not you. The part of you that burns with the need to be seen as right, smart, or good, that is not your true indifferent mind. It is your ego. It is a construct, a ghost, a fragile, terrified, screaming child that you have mistaken for your identity. And this child demands to be protected. It is so fragile that a single look from a stranger can wound it. It is so insecure that a single comment online can shatter its entire day. It is so weak that it screams for your reaction, for your defense, at the slightest provocation. You are not the screaming child. You are the observer who is listening to it scream. And your addiction, Chapter 1, has been your obedience to that child. The ego is fragile. You are not. Let it be hurt. This is the key. This is the transformation that unlocks everything. You have confused the jailer with the self. You must separate them. Let's use the simplest example. You are standing in line for coffee. You are waiting. Someone walks in, looks at the line, and cuts right in front of you. Instantly, the child screams. The ego flares. Disrespect. That person disrespected you. They humiliated you. They think you are weak. Everyone in this line saw it. They all think you are a fool. You must do something. Say something now. This is the voice of your jailer. It is demanding you react. It is forcing you into a confrontation you did not choose. And the weak mind obeys. You tap the person on the shoulder. Excuse me, the line is back there. And now you are in a fight. Now your peace is gone. Now your adrenaline is high. All to protect a ghost. Now, the indifferent mind. The same scenario. The man cuts in line. You feel the flush of adrenaline. You hear the ego begin to scream, disrespect, do something. But you have trained. You invoke the pause, Chapter 5. You breathe. And you do not look at the man. You look at the screaming child inside your own mind. You observe your ego. Ah, you think, there it is. It is screaming. It feels hurt. It feels disrespected. How interesting. You observe the tantrum with detached curiosity. You watch it, and you do nothing. You let it scream. You let it feel humiliated. The ego is fragile. You are not. Let it be hurt. And what of the man? You observe him. You classify him. This person is in a hurry. This person is rude. This person is noise. And you do nothing. You stand in your fortress. You check your phone. You have not lost your peace. You have not given away your energy. You have refused to obey your jailer. This is freedom. Freedom is not winning the argument with the line cutter. Freedom is not proving your ego right. Freedom is realizing that your ego's pain is irrelevant. It's not about passivity. It's about discipline. The discipline to differentiate between you and it. The discipline to put your mission, your peace, above your ego's fragile need for validation. You have a choice. You can spend the rest of your life as a bodyguard to a terrified, screaming child. Or you can abandon that child and become the fortress. You don't need its permission to be calm. You don't need its permission to let go. Your entire reactive life is built on one false premise. I must protect myself. Your new life is built on one new truth. My true self needs no protection. It is only the ego that is fragile. So let it break. When someone insults you, and you feel that sting, that is the sound of the ego being hit. Your job is to not react. Your job is to stand back and let it be hit. You are fine. You are safe. You are the observer. The more you allow your ego to be hurt without reacting, the weaker its voice becomes. The less you obey the jailer, the less power it has. You are starving it. You are dismantling the prison, brick by brick. This is the internal victory. You have divorced yourself from the only part of you that can be provoked. When the manipulator tries to hook your guilt, they find nothing to hook onto. The inside man is gone. When the troll tries to insult you, the insult passes right through you. There is no fragile self to receive the blow. You have disarmed your jailer. You are no longer a prisoner to the compulsion to be right or respected or seen.
You have found your center. This new state, this solid, grounded, immovable core. This is the indifferent mind. But many people mistake this power for weakness. They confuse this indifference with apathy. They cannot tell the difference between caring about nothing and being unmoved by things that do not matter. We must destroy this confusion. We must understand that true indifference is the opposite of weakness. It is the purest form of absolute power.
Chapter 9. Indifference is not weakness. It is absolute power. We have come to the center. In the last chapter, we confronted the final enemy, the internal one. We identified your ego, your jailer, the screaming, fragile child that you have spent your entire life protecting. And you made a choice. You let it be hurt. You separated your true self, the observer, from the fragile construct that demands to be offended. You have begun to dismantle the only part of you that can be provoked. But now, a new fear creeps in, a doubt planted by a weak and reactive world. If I am not my ego, if I do not react, if I am not offended, am I human? Does this not make me cold? Is this indifference not just apathy? Let us destroy this myth. Right now. This is the final lie that keeps people enslaved to their reactions. The world wants you to believe that indifference is weakness, that it is a void, that it is giving up. They are wrong. Apathy and indifference are not the same. They are opposites. Apathy is weakness. Apathy is the absence of a mission. Apathy is the disease of the man who says, "Nothing matters, why bother?" The apathetic man is driftwood. He is empty. He floats wherever the tide of the world takes him. He cares about nothing, and so he does nothing. That is not power. That is a void. Indifference is absolute power. Indifference is not an absence of caring. It is a ferocious, disciplined, white-hot prioritization of caring. The indifferent mind is not empty. It is full. It is so full of its own mission, its own purpose, its own standards, that it has zero time and zero energy left for the distractions of the world. Apathy is caring about nothing. Indifference is caring so much about what matters that you cannot be distracted by what does not. It's not about being a flaw, apathetic. It's about being a discipline, focused. This is the power of the centered mind. Let me give you the only metaphor you will ever need. A storm rages. The wind howls, the rain lashes, the drama of the world is at its peak. The tree thrashes, it reacts to every single gust. Its branches snap, its leaves are torn away. It is bent and twisted by the storm. The tree is reactive, it is weak. It is at the mercy of the chaos. This is the reactive mind. This is you before today.
Now, look to the mountain. The same storm rages. The same wind howls against its face. Does the mountain notice the storm? Yes, it is aware. It is not ignorant. It feels the wind. It feels the rain. But does the storm move the mountain? Does the storm change the mountain's purpose? Does the mountain stop being a mountain to argue with the wind? Never. The mountain is aware of the chaos, but it does not participate in the chaos. Its mission, to be the mountain, is infinitely more important than the temporary drama of the weather. It is centered. It is grounded. It is unmoved. This is the indifferent mind. Be the mountain. Be the stone in the river. Unmoved. The world wants you to be the tree.
The world screams at you. React. Be passionate. Be angry. Be offended. Care about this drama. Care about our fight. They need you to be a tree so they can control you with their wind. You must refuse. You have a choice. You can continue to be the tree, thrashed and broken, or you can become the mountain. This is not coldness. This is focus. This is absolute clarity. You have one life. You have a finite amount of energy. Your mission, your work, your family, your body, your legacy is all that matters. Every second of energy you give to a troll, every ounce of peace you surrender to a provocation, is energy and peace that you steal from your mission. The truly powerful person, the truly indifferent mind, is not unfeeling. They feel love. They feel passion. They feel commitment. They channel all of their feeling into what they choose. They love their family. They are passionate about their work. They refuse to let the noise of the world contaminate that pure focus. That's the key. Indifference is not a void. It is a wall. It is the fortress wall that protects the kingdom, your mission, inside. Let's apply this. Someone insults you. The apathetic man says, "Whatever, nothing matters anyway." He gives up. The reactive man says, "How dare you?" He engages. He fights. He loses. The indifferent mind hears the insult. He feels the wind, and his internal monologue is, "This is noise. This does not matter. This has nothing to do with my mission. I have work to do." And he turns back to his work. He is not weak. He is unbelievably strong. He has mastered his ego. He has chosen his purpose over their provocation. He does not need their permission to be focused. This is the power you are claiming. The power to choose where your life force goes. The power to be aware of the chaos, but fundamentally, internally, structurally, unmoved. Be the mountain. Be the stone in the river. Let the water of their drama rush around you. It cannot move you. You are solid. You are grounded in your purpose. This is the goal. This is the state of the indifferent mind. You are not a cold, dead, empty void. You are a focused, grounded, immovable force. You are so alive with your own purpose that their noise cannot even touch you. You have learned the lessons. You have the tactics. You have the philosophy. You have become the fortress. You are the mountain. There is only one thing left to do. You must integrate this. You must live this. You must become this identity every single day. You must practice being the mountain until you forget you were ever the tree. You must take this new power and walk with it. You must walk into the chaos of the world and not be changed by it. You must walk through the fire and not be burned.
Chapter 10. Walk through the fire, unburned. You have arrived. You have completed the work. But this is not the end. This is the beginning. The previous chapters were the training. They were the lessons. They were the forging. This is the test. This is the integration. This is the moment you stop practicing indifference and you become indifferent. This is no longer a tactic you use. It is the identity you inhabit. You are not the person who hopes not to be provoked. You are the person who cannot be provoked. You have done the work. You saw your addiction to reacting, and you broke it. Chapter 1. You identified your desperate need for validation, and you killed it. Chapter 2.
You learned that they win when you engage, and you starve them of your energy. Chapter 3. You stopped defending with your words because your mind is the fortress. Chapter 4. You mastered the pause. It is no longer a tool. It is the space you live in. Chapter 5. You learned to hear insults, criticism, and gossip as nothing but noise. Chapter 6. You faced the manipulator, and you broke their power with the weapon of silence. Chapter 7. You identified your ego, your jailer, and you divorced yourself from its pain. Chapter 8. You became the mountain, not the tree. And now, you must take this new self and walk. You must walk back into the world that tried to break you. You must walk into the chaos. You must walk through the fire and not be burned. What is the fire? The fire is the chaotic team meeting. The fire is the difficult family dinner. The fire is the unexpected emergency, the market crash, the sudden crisis. The fire is the stranger who insults you, the driver who cuts you off. The fire is every attempt, conscious or unconscious, from the world to steal your peace. The old you was the fire. You were just as chaotic as the world. You were kindling. A spark would hit you, and you would explode. You would burn with anger, shame, fear, and reactivity. You were the fire. The new you walks. This is the final visualization. This is your new reality. See yourself. You are walking into that chaotic meeting. You see it all. You are not apathetic. You are hyper-aware. You see your colleague preparing their passive-aggressive remark. You see the bait. You see your boss looking for someone to blame. You see the insecurity, the ego, the fear in the room. It is all fire.
The old you would be preparing your defense. Your heart would be pounding. The new you walks. The comment comes, the blame is cast in your direction, and you feel nothing. It is mist, it is smoke, it swirls around you, but it cannot find a place to land. It cannot stick. You observe the attempt. You invoke the pause, not with effort, but automatically. You look at the chaos as if you are watching it through a thick glass wall. You are in the fire, but you are not burning. You let the noise pass, and when it is your turn to speak, your voice is calm. Your heart is slow. You speak the truth without anger, without defense. You are unmoved. See yourself at the family dinner. The fire is lit. The guilt hooks are flying. After everything we've done for you, you never call. Your cousin is so successful, why aren't you? The flames of manipulation and comparison are everywhere. The old you would be consumed, justifying, defending, arguing. The new you walks. You hear the hooks. You recognize the tactic. You feel the ghost of your old ego whimper, and you ignore it. You give them nothing. You starve the fire of its oxygen, your reaction. You pass the salt. You ask a question about a different topic. You sit in the middle of the inferno as if it is a pleasant spring day. This is not a fantasy. This is discipline. It's not about the fire changing. The world will always be on fire. It's about you changing.
You have become non-flammable. That's the key. Your internal state is non-negotiable. This is the vow. This is the oath of the indifferent mind. It means that no one, ever, gets to choose how you feel. They do not get to vote on your peace. They do not get to set your internal temperature. You are the thermostat. You set the state. The rest of the world is just the weather, and the weather has no say. You don't need their permission to be calm in their chaos. You don't need their permission to be silent when they demand you scream. You don't need their permission to be indifferent to what they declare is urgent. Your peace is not for sale, not today, not ever. Walk through the fire. This is your new life. You are no longer the tree that thrashes in the wind. You are the mountain that the storm breaks against. You are the stone in the river. You are the fortress. You are the observer. The lessons are over. The identity is yours. You have the tools. You are the structure. You are the indifferent mind. You are ready. You know the truth. Now, it is time to live it. It is time for the final declaration.
You have reached the end, but this is the beginning. You came here seeking a shield, but you leave as the shield. Remember the lessons. You were addicted to reacting, but you have broken the addiction. You needed validation, but you have killed that need. They won when you engaged, but you will starve them of their power. You have the framework. You know that insults are just noise. You know that your ego is your jailer, and you now hold the key. You know that the fortress is your mind. You know how to use the pause. You know that silence is a weapon. You know that indifference is not weakness, it is absolute, unshakable power. The indifferent mind is not a fantasy. It is a decision. It is a discipline. It is a new identity that you must choose every single second from this moment forward. Your peace is not for sale. Your center does not move. You are the stone in the river. You will walk through the fire unburned. The lesson is over. The test begins now. Go out there and be impossible to provoke.